So yes people, welcome back to another video here on the J&M Football channel. So we get a lot of messages regarding what pro football is actually like. Now when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about the lower level of pro, so I'm not talking about the Prem, Spanish League, Serie A, Bundesliga, leagues like that. I'm talking about the lower professional leagues all around the world. What is it actually like to grind out in these lower pro leagues? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, if you don't go through the normal route to pro football, which is like through an academy, then you sign a scholar, then you sign a pro of that team, and then you slowly get pushed into the first team. If you don't go through that route, your route is probably going to sound something like this. You've played a bit of amateur or semi-pro, and then you talk to agents or you get scouted, you go to trials, and then you eventually sign for a lower level professional team. Now, the thing is, a lot of people aren't willing to play in these lower leagues because these lower leagues are where the real grind is. Now your first 1, 2, maybe 3 pro contracts in football are going to be bad contracts. That's just the way it is. You're not going to be making much money because you're not an experienced pro. You're not a proven pro. You're playing lower level, so there's not as much money anyway. And you're most likely only going to get a 9-month, or maybe if you're lucky, a 12-month contract. So every year you're going to have to looking for new contracts and new opportunities. Now with these bad contracts where you're earning basically peanuts or bad money, the lifestyle isn't great. So when people think about pro football and their lifestyles, they think of Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi, all the people with the big houses, lots of cars and loads of money. Now of course, as you probably know, the lower level pro leagues, the lifestyle in these lower pro leagues just aren't like that. You're making peanuts next to what Messi and Neymar are making. You're probably sharing an apartment with teammates, maybe even sharing rooms with teammates. The apartments are just rough, basic apartments, nothing fancy, just enough for you to live, have internet, have a kitchen to cook, and that's about it. Now, of course, as I said, your first few contracts, they're just not going to be a lot of money involved in them. You're going to be making peanuts. You'll probably just make enough money to scrape by in life. So this means a lot of pros actually get part-time jobs. Now, the most common one is coaching. They like to coach one-on-one individual sessions next to pro football. A lot of pros do a couple sessions a week, which allows them to put more money in their own pockets, which next to their pro contract ends up being enough for them to live. So yeah, as I was saying, a lot of the time you share apartments or even rooms with teammates. I've heard of stories where there have been like 8, 9, even 10 people sleeping in a 2-room apartment. Now you can imagine how like rough that is, and you have to be really strong mentally to live through that for a 9 or 12-month period. Now at these lower level pro leagues, and I've even heard about like UCL Championship, leagues like that, you even have to pay for your own flights if you're going to trial for the team. So if you're going to trial for the team, a lot of the time you have to pay for your own flights and accommodation whilst on trial. Then normally, or if you sign for the team, they will normally sort you out accommodation, maybe food and a wage, but that all depends on the contract you sign. Now the truth is, you go to these lower level leagues to prove yourself. You go for an experience, for the opportunity to play in a pro league, to prove yourself and then move on. No one goes to sign in these lower leagues to then stay there for their whole careers. And no one should go there to make a lot of money. That shouldn't be your main goal when going into these lower leagues or starting off your pro career in these leagues. What your mindset should be is you go to one of these leagues, stay there for 1, 2, maybe 3 seasons, prove yourself, get as much game time as you can, get a lot of game footage for your highlights, network with a lot of people, and after a few years, agents and teams can see you've been playing consistently in a pro league. This will give you a higher chance for future opportunities. So yeah, you don't go to these leagues and teams to stay there for your whole career. You go there to play, to get experience, to prove yourself, and then move on to bigger and better things. It's kind of like a stepping stone for your career, basically. It's just the same as a normal job. When you go and apply for a job, you start at the bottom and you slowly work your way up until you're district manager or branch manager or something like that. So yeah, when going to grind out in these lower leagues, your mindset is so key because you're going to have rough times. You're going to be questioning yourself, is it worth it? Is all this grind and work worth it? Now, the only person who can answer that question is you. You have to be willing to grind it out for 1, 2, 3 seasons and then find better opportunities further down the road. Now, these are the realities of these lower professional leagues all around the world. Not much money, no fancy cars or houses, just grind, grind and grind. Now I know it doesn't sound the best, but if you want to have a successful career, this is where you're going to have to start, and this is where you're going to have to grind out of. So I hope this video helped you. If you would like me to go into further detail in the future, just drop a comment below and I can see what I can do. Please drop a like because that helps YouTube push out our content to more and more people. Obviously, if you're interested in us, our story and our content, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.